Welcome to Brushes and Beyond, an art adventure. I'm Steve Mosher, Teen Services Librarian at the Trotwood branch of Dayton Metro Library. I'm going to take you through a series of art programs that I've done with a couple really cool crafts thrown in as well. First up is scribble art. This is a really simple, low to no cost project that is fun and relaxing and requires absolutely no artistic skill in order to complete it. All you'll need is paper, a black marker or crayon, and something to color with. You can use the supplies at your table to create your own scribble art while you're here at Teen Think Tank. All you have to do is scribble lines all over your paper with a black marker or crayon, like so. Then when you're all done, you color in the spaces of the drawing that you've created. Next up is a really cool project that does require some investment to purchase supplies. It doesn't require much time, and it doesn't require much in terms of artistic skills, though. For this project, you'll need ceramic mugs. Dollar Tree does sell them. Nail polish in various colors, a bowl of water, and some nail polish remover in case of mistakes. As an option, you can use a sealant such as dishwasher safe gloss from Mod Podge, but if you hand wash the mugs, you won't need it. You're going to drizzle your nail polish into your bowl of water. When you're satisfied with the look of the colors, you take your mug, dip it into the polish floating on the water, pull it out, then let it dry. Simple and easy. And if you don't like your results, you just use the nail polish remover to erase your work and you start all over. Broken CD mosaics are fun, a low to no cost, and don't require much artistic skill. They do, however, take more time, especially if you use little pieces and want more complete coverage like what's shown on the screen right now. For these, you'll need a sheet of paper, some basic art supplies like markers for the background, and some old DVDs, CDs, perfect use for those scratched up or cracked withdrawals. Glue or hot glue will be needed, as well as some gardening shears, or if you're feeling really adventurous, hammers. You're going to color your background for the project you want. Then start gluing on the pieces of broken CD until you're satisfied with the look. You can cover as much or as little of the paper as you'd like. It's entirely up to you. Next up is a project that looks like tile, costs a little bit of money, takes a little bit of time, but can be done regardless of your artistic ability. For this project, you'll need paper, some old magazines, comics, graphic novels, or the like, glue or Mod Podge, and a new product to me, Mod Podge Dimensional Magic. You're going to cut out shapes from your magazine pages, glue them onto your paper, and then you'll add the dimensional magic to your pieces to make them stand out like tiles. It gives it a 3D look and really adds to your project. Button art is the next project, and it takes only a small bit of money, a good amount of time, and very little artistic ability. You'll need a piece of paper, a bottle of glue, and lots of buttons. You can get over 1,000 buttons in various colors on Amazon for $10 to $12. To make this even easier, you could just use a coloring page. You'll simply create your picture using the buttons. So you're basically, think of it as coloring in your picture, but with glue and buttons instead of crayons. The teens at my library love to paint. Funny Guy Paintings uses a YouTube tutorial from the Art Sherpa. It takes some money for supplies, a good amount of time, and some artistic talent. This is another project that utilizes a tutorial by the Art Sherpa on YouTube. For this painting, you'll need more than just brushes. It does take some time and then a little more than other projects, has a little cost associated with it, and does require some artistic skill. This is another painting project from the Art Sherpa on YouTube, and you could do this as a painting as it is, or you could do it as paper collage using whatever paper you already have on hand. There's also a traceable available on her website so that you don't have to draw the cat yourself. For these projects, you'll need canvas board. You can get 12 6x6 boards for about $10. Some chalk, acrylic paints, which is an investment, but a little bit of acrylic paint goes a long way. So it's not an investment you'd have to make often. Paint brushes, hair dryers, and a way to show the tutorial, as well as old reward cards or an old library card to use instead of a palette knife if you don't have a palette knife. Since this is an abstract funny creature, it doesn't matter if it looks like the example or not. And remember, you should always sign your artwork. Someday when you're dead, it may make your descendants rich. You never know. This is another one where you just follow along with the tutorial to create your own rainbow weeping willow on a stormy background. It looks complicated, but she actually makes it very simple as she takes you step by step through the process. And again, there is a step-by-step tutorial for this one, and as a less expensive and less messy alternative, you could create this with colored paper as a collage instead of paint. For National Hispanic Heritage Month, we're going to learn about Frida Kahlo and use her art as inspiration for our own self-portraits. This will use existing art supplies, a decent amount of time, and will require some artistic skill. The teens will have a variety of existing art supplies at their disposal and some creativity to create their own self-portraits, however abstract they may be. Mine would be extremely abstract. When I do open-ended projects like this, I don't like to have an example because then all the teens tend to try to recreate exactly what I made and judge their art against mine. I want them to use their creativity to make their projects their own, not compare them to anything else. Next up is another way to use those old worn out CDs and DVDs. It's a quick, easy, fun, and inexpensive project. You'll need the old CDs or DVDs, yarn, Sharpies, and some plastic yarn needles if you'd like. I make those optional on the list. I find it's easier for the teens to weave the yarn with the needle, and you can get 48 of them for $4 on Amazon. So it's not a big financial commitment by any means. First, you'll tie the yarn in loops from the center to the outside edges of the CD, then weave your yarn over and under those bands until you're happy with the design. Then draw designs on the CD to fill in the last of the space, and you're all done. For LGBTQ+ History Month, we are learning the history of the Pride flag, and we're going to use it to inspire our own art. This can cost very little, using materials you already have, requires some time and varying artistic talent levels. You'll need some various supplies that you already have, like I said. This might include paper, markers, scissors, glue, paint, tissue paper, things like that. The participants can create whatever rainbow-inspired artwork they would like to create. Here are a variety of different rainbow-inspired projects that I've done. Any of these could be used for inspiration, but again, I don't like to box the teens into a certain example, so I probably wouldn't even give them an example for this particular project. Next up is string art. This can be done for very little expense, but there are also more expensive ways that you can do it. It takes a little bit of time and patience, but there's no need for lots of artistic talent, just a little dexterity. We use some cardboard for ours, a hole punch, yarn, and plastic yarn needles that are again optional, but do make it easier for the teens. This can also be done with wood blocks and hammers and nails, or yarn with thick cardboard and push pins. I've made it all 3 ways with teens, and all 3 ways have worked out. So you want to cut out the shape that you want to fill, hole punch around the edges, then wind your yarn through the holes, connecting it in different directions to fill in the gaps and create your project. And that's your string art. Strips of magazines are turned into classy artwork with this fun, easy, quick, and inexpensive project here. You'll need old magazines, cardboard, or paper. We actually used the shapes that were cut out from the string art projects as our shapes to use for this. And you'll need glue or Mod Podge. We used the shapes that I cut out for the last project for these. You just flip through some old magazines, cut out strips from the images that you like or the colors that you're looking for, and glue them onto the shape. Once the glue sets up, trim the edges, and if desired, Mod Podge the whole design to seal it down. These paper squishies are a new favorite among many of my teen girls. This can be a cheap, easy, fun, and quick project for you. To make it more of an art project, you can just provide paper and let the teens draw or create their own items, or you can print off images that they can use. You'll need some type of stuffing. I used shredded memory foam that I had purchased, but you could also use fiberfill or probably even shredded newspaper or paper. The only other things you'll need are some scissors and packing tape. You simply cut out your objects of your shapes, tape them like you're laminating them using the tape, then tape the front and back together around the edges, leaving an opening for you to insert the stuffing. You stuff your squishy, then you seal up the last of it with the tape, and voila, squishy. For Native American Heritage Month / Indigenous Peoples Month, we're using Maria by Rose B. Simpson to inspire our art projects. This has little to no cost, takes a little bit of time, and can be done without being a dedicated, talented artist. All you'll need are some printouts showing the outlines of cars, and some pencils, pens, just basic supplies you already have on hand. Sometimes I don't like to have an example because then the teens try to recreate the example like I've already said. I want them to use their own creativity to design how they would design and color and decorate their car. Here's a fun and easy project that can turn out absolutely beautiful with very little expense, little time, and little need for artistic skill. You'll need some cardstock, acrylic paints, and yarn. Tempera paints can be used as well, but the colors, when they dry, are more muted than the acrylics, so it doesn't give it quite as bold of a look. You simply coat your yarn in paint, lay it down on the cardstock, lay a second piece of cardstock on top of the yarn, then pull the string out, open the pieces, and see what your results are. Break out the toilet paper rolls for this last project. It costs very little, can take as much or as little time as you'd like, and doesn't require a lot of talent. You'll need paper, cardstock or canvas board, acrylic or tempera paints, paint brushes, Q-tips, rubber bands, scissors, and toilet paper rolls. First, you'll paint your background, then add in your treetops with the Q-tips. Then you'll paint in your fireworks with your toilet paper roll. And there can be as few or as many fireworks as you'd like. It's entirely up to you. So there you have it, 17 art projects you can do with your teens in a very short period of time. So take a look at the samples that I sent along, send me your questions, and I do hope you enjoy your art adventure as much as I enjoyed mine.